Alright, hey guys, I'm going to do a tutorial here on how to dual boot your Samsung Galaxy Note 2. I got my request to do this, so I thought I'd do it for you guys. First thing you want to do is go to this forum thread. It's going to be in your unlocked Galaxy Note 2 forum, and then go to original Android development, and then go to Devil Linux ASP SAMI dual boot kernel. And then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, and you are going to pick two of these four files for your device. Tolte means that you are working on an AT&T or T-Mobile device. Devil dual boot, just the regular, means that you are on the N7100 or the unlocked versions. So I have Devil dual boot recovery Tolte. I have a T-Mobile device, so I'm going to download that one, and I'm going to download this one here. After I download those two, I'm going to put them somewhere where I know they are, and then I'm going to go to my T-Mobile Note 2, which is here, and I'm going to download two ROMs. Make sure they are not ROMs that are, what are those? Like, you can't have Jedi X14 because it has a Roma installer. That's what it's called. See, so anyone that has a Roma installer, you can't have. So, for the sake of this video, I've already downloaded two ROMs and those two files, and they're right here. So, see, I have two files, and these two, I have, that's a ROM, and that's a ROM. Oops, that's a ROM, and that's a ROM. Then these are the two files you need. And then, I think it's always safe to have a Open Recovery TWRP, like, file back onto your SD card, just in case. So, that's what I do. So I'm going to go to my downloads, and I'm going to get this here and drag this onto my SD card. And we are just going to wait for this to complete. This might take a while. Alright guys, it's now complete. And let's see, we'll go here. As you can tell, I have my dual boot thing right there. So, time to go over to the device part. Okay, hey guys, we're on this side now, and I have my SD card here, and then I'm going to just simply put it into my phone here. Maybe. I'm trying to do this through the camera, it's kind of hard. There we to get my extended battery, throw this in here, and I'm going to put it in my case. Okay, from there, I'm going to boot into recovery, which is volume, power, home. So just hold all three of those and hope for the best. Bam. Team 1 recovery is what I use normally, so I don't know what you guys use, but regardless, you're going to be switching recoveries. So first off, I'm going to wipe just in case. I'm going to do this anyways when we get into it, so that's not necessary, but I will do it. I'm going to back out, go to my external SD card, and go to dual boot, and I'm going to first flash the kernel, the dual boot kernel, back out of that, then the dual boot recovery. So now I'm going to go, home, and I'm going to hit reboot, recovery. So this is going to throw us into a different recovery. This recovery should be CWM, modified version, made by these people that gave us this awesome feature. I still didn't check the devs when I was at my computer, so I give them every little bit of credit. I give them every little piece of credit for this. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to enable mounting of primary file system, and then you're going to go to dual boot menu again, enable mounting of secondary file system, and then you are going to wipe then you're going to hit then you're going to go back to the dual boot menu and create a secondary system image. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I already did this, but just to show you guys, this is what you actually do. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let that sit there. You can kind of see it, but it's kind of reflecting, so sorry about that. But right now I'm going to be running Paranoid Android 3.55 with Halo. That's a port from an AT&T Note 2 that I'm running on my T-Mobile device. And then my secondary will be Jedi X13, because Jedi X13 doesn't run off the new Aroma installer, so I was able to use that one. So we are going to wait for this to complete, which it shouldn't take too much longer. Usually it takes about 5 minutes, and usually it's done after that. So we shall wait. I'm using my iPad to record this. I know this is a disgrace, but that's all I have to record, so don't take it out on me. Okay, well that's done. So now we're going to wipe data factory reset, and we're going to do clean to install a new ROM. So we're going to do that. I am now going to hit install zip and choose it from an external SD card, and then I'm going to hit ROM to primary file system, and I'm going to go to dual boot and go to PA whatever, and for some reason it's not going to flash. It's going to really get me mad, but this one does flash, I know that. So we're going to let that flash. For some reason I couldn't flash it from that folder we made, so I ended up having to throw that same exact ROM onto the root of my SD card. So that's not really a big issue. So I guess don't make a folder when on your computer, or however you go about downloading this, because you can download it straight from your Android device. So that's done. I'm going to go to kernel, and actually, I take that back. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to zip to primary FS, and from there I'm going to pick ROMs and go to my gaps. That's what I'm going to flash next. Since this is paranoid Android, you're going to need the gaps just like you would need them any other time if you were installing anything like that. Okay, now you're going to need to go down and go to the kernel that you have. Mine is, I have it 2 places. Okay, I don't know what I did there. Choose it from external, zip kernel. Sorry about that, guys. Why is it doing that? It has touch input, and I'm trying to use the combination of both, and it's just a little fidgety sometimes. And I'm going to go to kernel and flash. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and make sure that my primary system boots now. So just hit reboot primary system. And your first boot is going to take a few minutes. So I'm just going to kind of put this right here, as you can see there. And it booted perfectly fine. Usually it takes a little bit longer, but well, it might take a little bit longer. Just kind of matters sometimes. And what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to pretty much set up your file or your profile. So, you know, sign in Gmail, do all that fun stuff. And then you are going to want to make sure you're running the ROM you intended to run. So I'd go into your system settings, make sure everything's good. After, you're going to do what I'm doing, which is going to reboot into recovery. Just because, for time's sake, I'm just going to, you know, assume that that works. To catch a signal, it's going to take a few minutes just in advance. You can see me in the back. Hello. Okay, so now we're going back into our recovery, and we are going to hit dual boot menu. We're going to enable mounting of primary file system. Dual boot menu again, enable mounting of secondary file system. I do this just to be safe. And then we're going to install zip and choose from an external SD card. And we are going to ROM to secondary FS. I moved my ROM around to here. I'm going to install Jedi X13. And it's going to prepare your zip. This is what I was talking about when I was telling you guys that it's that it changes your system around. So, or your ROM around. Well, I was going to place it right there, but my phone just likes to fold. So, let's try it again. There you go. And I'll focus that for you guys, and you can watch it prepare the zip. And this is going to take quite a while. I might be doing more videos, Android videos, if you guys want to see them. I flash ROMs all the time, so it really isn't a big deal if you guys want to know a few things about Android and stuff. Maybe I'll start doing more things on my Note 2, like more Note 2 videos, or even games. I play a lot of games on my Android phone, and I do have some games in mind that I could, you know, create a list from, or even do some gameplays on. Either way, I think I'm going to start doing some more Android videos, because it seems to get a little more attention than what my channel usually brings. So just be on the lookout for those videos. Send me requests on things you want to know how to do. I may not know everything, but I may be able to help you out on something you may have a question on, because I've been around Android for about 5 years. I had the HTC Hero back in, I don't even remember what year it was. And then I went to the Evo, HTC Evo. And then I did something stupid and I went to the iPhone when my upgrade is up. And then after the 2 years, I couldn't stand my iPhone anymore. And I actually cracked the screen on that thing really badly. But then I went to the Note 2, and I would have to say the Note 2 is the best phone I've ever had. I still love my Hero because that was my first Android phone. That's still really close to my heart. I love that phone. But I ended up breaking that phone because I was young and wasn't really focused on what I was doing, I guess. So I was flashing a radio and took out the battery. Not the brightest thing. So anyone out there that's flashed a radio or is going to flash a radio, don't take out the battery. Whatever you do, don't take out the battery while flashing a radio. That just leads to bad things. I've also had 2 Android tablets. I had the Transformer Prime, and then I had the Transformer Infinity, and Best Buy actually traded me my Prime for my Infinity. So I didn't mind that, but then I ended up selling that, and yeah, that's pretty much been my experience with Android, I guess. But I've rooted many phones and stuff up to that sort because of my family. So I know my way around on Android pretty well. And like I said, I flash ROMs constantly, so this stuff comes like second nature to me. This ROM was taking forever to download or to install though. It should be done pretty soon here. But just let it do its thing, you don't want to mess up anything, so I'm not even going to touch it, as you see. I even touched it. Because I'm just going to, let it do what it needs to do. And not worry about time. That's the thing, you're going to have to find a time out of your day to do something like this. So, it's done. And as you can tell, it says feel the force. So now it tells me to install or flash the dual boot kernel once again. So I'm going to go back to my kernels and recovery, and I'm going to go to dual boot 1 and install the dual boot kernel. Going to back out again, and reboot secondary system now. And this is where we cross our fingers. I'm going to throw this right here, and I'm going to wait for a boot. I might have to fast forward through this, so if it's fast forwarded, oh, okay, never mind. Not going to have to wait for a fast forward, because just like that, our Samsung boot screen is up and running. So that's now you're all set up. I'm just going to show you that this of course boots while my dog barks. Hopefully he doesn't ruin this video. So we're going to see that this boots and everything, and then we will be done with this video. I will go back in recovery one more time and show you that pretty much how to switch between the two. It's pretty simple. You just go into recovery every time you want to switch in between the two, and pick reboot first file system or reboot second file system. So pretty self-explanatory, but just to show you that it indeed is dual booting, I will wait for this to boot fully and show you guys. This thing's so awesome, by the way. I love it. I love being dual booted, and I'm loving that everyone that has this device wants to dual boot, because it's just awesome. It's just something that every Android enthusiast should have, I think. So as you can tell, everything's working. I have 4G right there. And so I am going to turn this off, reboot options, go to my recovery, hit OK, asking for super user stuff in the background. Okay, so there you go. That one's going to shut down, go into recovery, and you will see me boot into my primary one more time just to show you everything works. Reboot primary system now. Just gonna pretty much hit the power button. So this is going to do its thing. Almost dropped my phone again. Going to focus you guys in on that. And wait. I did do this one time, my first time flashing, and I tried rebooting into my primary after I flashed my secondary, and for some reason it didn't want to boot, and I'm hoping that's not the case here. If it is, then what I did was I just reflashed that ROM, and it seemed to work, but I did have some wake lock issues, so I was wondering if that was the cause. I don't know if it is, but we'll see if it gives me that issue. I think it's going to, because it's not booting pretty quickly like it used to. So we'll give this about another 25 seconds. Okay, well, I don't believe it's going to boot, so I'm going to do exactly what I did earlier, which is you're going to have to force pull battery, which probably isn't the best thing for your phone, but I'm going to do it. So there you go, just put it back in. You're going to boot into recovery again. Oops. I don't know if I actually booted into recovery. Yes, I did. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is dual boot menu, enable mounting of primary, and I am going to wipe data, clean install. It's going to ask if I want to install a new ROM, and hit yes, and it's going to do this thing. And now I'm going to go to install zip, choose zip from external, ROM from primary, go back, okay, didn't mean to do that, go back to where I have my ROM placed, install, and this one installs pretty quickly, which I'm thankful for. That's another reason I love Pernode Android, is how quick it flashes and it boots. I mean, it's so small of a file. It's only 170 megabytes, I want to say. I don't know, I couldn't tell exactly, but it's something around there, so that's always a plus, I think. So now I need my gaps, which is going to be my ROMs. Just going to flash the same gaps. I guess once you put in the gaps, that's another like 120. So it's only about a 300 megabit or megabytes of download you have to download, or files you have to keep on your phone. So now you're going to reflash this kernel once again. Okay, this is not under kernels, forgot about that. Where's it at here? Dual boot, that's where it's at. And then I'm going to install, go back one more time, reboot primary system, and hopefully that solved our problem. If not, this is going to be a whole video wasted. which I'm hoping it's not. So we're gonna wait, and that booted just fine. Just to save time, I'm going to pull battery. Oh my god, my dog's gonna freak out. I'm gonna pull battery and show you that my secondary system now works too. Okay. So now I'm going to go down one. Focus this, go down one, reboot secondary system now, rebooting. And cross my fingers and hope that this reboots. Bam, into Samsung. Cool. Alright. So there you go, guys. There's the proof. Go ahead and do it yourself. Just remember to put 2 ROMs inside of your SD card, and then you're going to want to flash the 2 files that are in the thread that are going to be in the description below. And then once you do that, then you have to first you have to wipe everything. Then you're going to have to flash your first ROM, flash your second ROM, and then flash your first again. You may be able to just flash your secondary and flash your first, and that might solve the issue, but that's just something I ran into, and that's how I know to solve it. So, hope you guys like this video. Give me suggestions on what to do next. I'm willing to make anything you guys really want me to make. So, I'll see you guys later, and happy flashing.